Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. Today we are in Empire of Sin and we are doing yet another episode of our Boss Spotlight series. This episode is all about Joseph and we're going to be talking about his stats, his traits, and everything really to do with him and telling you if we think that he's a viable boss. If you are interested in Empire Sin content, then look no further than this channel. I'm sure that we can cover any question that you have about the game. And if we can't cover it, I'll be very surprised. So hit that subscribe button and of course like the video. It helps so much with the algorithm and gets the video get pushed and more people can see this content. But anyway, let's jump into the video. And first up, we have got Empire bonuses. The first Empire bonus actually came in with the Precinct update, and that is the Butcher Shop. It's a exclusive improvement slot, meaning that once you level up your precinct, you're able to add this building in. And it is that police activity from kills is reduced by 100% in this precinct, which is actually kind of cool. It means that police attention isn't going to be so bad. I think when it comes to initial startup, that's when this is going to be useful. Would I have it in every precinct? Probably not, to be fair. Next up, we have got Love Pays. Brothel income is plus 5%. 5% really isn't that much, and brothels aren't really that profitable with the current update. After that, we got Raise the Bar. Speakeasy's starting level is +1. That's kind of cool, to be fair. Speakeasies are incredibly important right now. Breweries, speakeasies, loan sharks are kind of where the money's at. So Joseph has a little bit of a step up there. After that, we've got Jive Joint, a neighborhood threat generation when opening a speakeasy. Again, we like speakeasies, is a -50%. So the more speakeasies you have, it's not going to be upsetting the other AI bosses. So again, I quite like this. A quick reminder, we do actually have an active and growing Discord as well, so if you do want to jump in, chat about this game or any game you're playing, the link for that will be down in the description. But enough of that, let's get into the stats. Now, the first stat to talk about is, of course, marksmanship, and Joseph actually has a pretty good marksmanship of 75. Now, that kind of means that he can use almost any gun in a game. 75 is definitely a respectable marksmanship start. It will get better as you play through the game, but he can definitely perform when it comes to almost any gun, which is fantastic. Now, he doesn't have a defense bonus at all, which I find a little bit strange. I think the way they build Joseph, he's kind of like a powerhouse. He's a melee character. His ability is running through people. I kind of think he should be a little bit tanky and therefore actually have a defense bonus, but it is what it is. After that, we have got initiative. And initiative is basically how fast you are in combat, where you are in the pecking order. And 66 is okay. It's really on the lower end when it comes to the bosses. It's definitely not over 70, which is what we're really looking for. So he's not going to be, guaranteed to be hitting first once you reach the ender stages of the game. Movement is 7, which is pretty good. The next 3 stats are all about dialogue choices and in-game events and your chances of succeeding when they pop up. So we've got leadership, persuasion, and intimidation. And at 79, 70, and 84, they're all very respectable and totally cushy. I do think that Saltis had a slight rework and those stats have been boosted slightly. But yeah, when it comes to those dialogue and in-game events, he's definitely one that's going to be succeeding more often than failing. Next up, we have the traits. Now, the first trait is Work Praises the Man. Neighborhood Speakeasy's security cost is -30%. Again, speakeasies are something we can use quite often, therefore you can actually get a good bit of work out that way. Cunning increases by 5% our crit chance when flanking a target. Thick-skinned gives us the 15% chance of resisting a crit. Again, that's actually quite cool. We've also got careful, which is another 15%, meaning we've actually got a 30% chance to resist crit, which is really, really good. And we do have a giant. Giant is a trait that confuses me a little bit. I guess it means we're more easily hit. So we get the -5 defense bonus, but we also get the +5 melee damage. So when it comes to these traits, he doesn't necessarily have any traits that stand out like, oh my god, we definitely need these, but he has a lot of positive traits, and a lot of them are just like small little improvements, but they really help, like having that thick-skinned and careful, that 30% chance to resist those crits. That can save us a lot of health in our playthrough. Next up, we go through what I would recommend how you build his kind of perk tree. And first up, I would always pick Lifeline. I know I pick it with every single character or every single boss, but it's just very useful. Any character within 4 meters of you will bleed out instead of dying when their HP reaches 0. Then in tier 2, I would pick, or tier 3, I would pick Heal because it's a guaranteed heal chance. I think anytime you get a boss that can heal, definitely pick it. In tier 4, I quite like Striker Move personally because killing a target grants you a free bonus move, meaning you've got those extra steps on the battlefield. And remember, you've got 7 movements, so you're really going to be able to, go across that battlefield targeting whoever you want, whenever you want, maybe even getting that early boss kill with this as well. In tier 4, I honestly think that if kill chain is an option, you've got to pick it. Fire a shot at a target. If the target is killed, your turn does not end and you regain 1 AP. Again, if you're going to use this, it's another reason to use a weapon that only has 1 AP. Yes, unfortunately, that does rule out sniper rifles completely, but is what it is. Next up, we have weapon proficiency and what I would recommend you use with Joseph. Now, the way the game currently is, the meta is handgun and melee. That's simply because melee weapons are so overpowered currently. It's a 100% chance to hit. And with Joseph, we're doing an extra 5 damage. There's some really good perks here, and some of them are incredibly strong, especially the tier 3 melee proficiency. When you recover 20 health for killing an enemy with a melee weapon, very strong. But there's some really good ones here, and it goes hand in hand with being able to use the pistols and getting the odd extra kill. Also, Joseph's main ability is a melee attack, therefore you're going to be getting a lot of melee kills very easily, racking up those extra perks. So when it comes to Joseph, I would honestly pick melee and pistol. And talking of boss ability, I have previously stated that Joseph did not have the best boss ability in the game. However, it did get tweaked, it did get a huge buff, and now his boss ability, Stampede, is very good. It will charge at a character, knocking any character that is caught in the path back as well, dealing devastating damage. Now, it doesn't always deal devastating damage, but early game you can absolutely just run through factions, which is fantastic. Every kill got does equal onto towards your melee kills as well, so you can kind of like buff this ability up the more perks you get, which is quite nice. Honestly, Stampede is actually a very good ability. It never used to be. Like I said, it did get a buff. It got a welcomed buff. And to summarize, I think Joseph is a very viable boss. I mean, he is a healer. He has great stats. He has good traits that kind of help him in his playthrough as well, and a couple of his empire bonuses are pretty good. He does also have that kill chain. Of course, once you do get to kill chain, if you do get to kill chain, you are going to be really wanting to have a main weapon like a submachine gun or something, but the golden Tommy gun is in store after all. Just stick it on him, right? But yeah, Joseph Saltis, maybe not one of the best bosses in the game, but a strong contender and high up there in that mid-tier class for me. I'm really glad that he got a rework. He did also get a unique weapon. It's Frank's typewriter, I believe, which is an SMG. So if you wanted to go down the SMG route, it would fit with Joseph. However, it was kind of given, the devs kind of took it off another character in the game, but it is what it is. But yeah, that is Joseph Saltis. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it entertaining. If you did and you're not subscribed, think about hitting that subscribe button. And of course, like the video. All comments are welcome as well. And until next time, I've been a monk, we've been a Critically Clueless, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, happy gaming.
I'm done for.